Before the astounding Achaemenid Empire erupted on the world scene, Persian clans settled in southern Iran, on the craggy foothills leading up to the snowy peaks of the Zagros Mountains. The virtually uninhabitable Kavir and Lut salt deserts lay to the northeast and the east. Life was challenging on the rugged Iranian plateau, but, as Cyrus the Great once said, soft land breeds soft people. Where did the Persians come from before they settled in Iran, and what brought them to their new homeland? In the Bronze Age, around 3300 to 1200 BCE, people speaking variants of the Proto-Indo-Iranian language lived primarily in what is now Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, and Uzbekistan. Some Indo-Iranian tribes extended as far east as China's Xinjiang province, and as far south as the Indian subcontinent. These people called themselves Aryan, meaning noble or free. The name Iran means the land of Aryans. A mass movement of these Iranian tribes, called the Aryan Migration, split into three groups in the second late millennium BCE. One group remained in the core Aryan region, or migrated slightly south, following the Oxus River. They formed the Bactrian and the Sogian tribes north of the Hindu Kush Mountains in today's Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan. The second group, the Aryans, the Trangians and Arokshians, headed south to the strip of plains lying between the mountains of Iran and Afghanistan. The third wave of Indo-Iranian-speaking people swept into the Iranian plateau in two movements. The first to arrive, around 1100 BCE, migrated into northern Iran, eventually forming the Median Kingdom. Slightly later, the ancestors of the Persians, who spoke a language known as Old Persian, settled in southwestern Iran. So what triggered this migration from the northeast? Why they left Central Asia is unknown, but it was likely due to overgrazing or being pushed out by more powerful tribes. The early Persians and the Medes grew in ascendancy during the power vacuum caused by a decline in the Elamite, Assyrian, and Babylonian kingdoms. Who was in Iran before the Medes and the Persians? And what happened when the Persians moved in? Iran's Bronze Age population included the Guchians, the Hurrians, and more, but the ancient Elamites dominated. The Elamites developed a sophisticated culture with cuneiform writing and the wheel by the 3rd millennium BCE, centered in what is now Khuzestan and Fars province in southwestern Iran. They controlled this homeland for the next 2 millennia, although they sometimes served as vassals to the Akkadians, the Assyrians, and the Babylonians, and they were often in conflict with these civilizations. The Persians began migrating into southern Iran around 1000 BCE, and within 200 years peacefully carved out territory in today's Fars province, then known as Persis. They lived among the Elamites under Assyrian rule. The Persians had no written language, so they adopted the Elamite script for writing and even spoke Elamite for administrative affairs. As they intermingled and intermarried, the Persians acquired other Elamite customs, including their clothing styles and artwork. The Persians lived side by side with the Elamites for 4 centuries, without reports of antagonism between the two ethnicities. The one exception is Assyrian writings mentioning Persian raids on the Elamites somewhere in the mid-7th century BCE. This would have been when most Persians abandoned their nomadic ways and settled in towns and villages. The lifestyle change precipitated more internal friction within the Persian clans and more conflict with their neighbors. The first written mention of the Persians in Iran was an inscription on the Black Obelisk. Assyrian king Shalmaneser III spoke of receiving tribute from 27 Persian kings, likely clan chieftains, somewhere in 836 BCE. In my 24th regnal year, I, Shalmaneser III, crossed the lower Zab River, crossed Mount Hashimar, went down to the land of Namri. Ianzu, king of the land Namri, took fright in the face of my mighty weapons, and ran away to save his life.